Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Los Angeles Lakers MyNBA series. And in this episode, we are recapping the offseason and recapping the beginning of the season. So, if we look here, we are 3-4. We have lost our last 4 games in a row. You will know why in just a second. But before we do that, as you see, we played the Vegas Venom for our first game of the season. We'll get into our additions for this offseason, and really was only 5 additions, 5 key additions, I'd say. Jalen Smith as our backup center now. DeAndre Hunter, we traded for him for Vince Williams, who was making too much money. Grayson Allen, Caleb Houston, and Malik Beasley. This is a very mid type of additions to our team. The reason why is because Andrew Nembhard was a free agent. He declined his player option, and we had to sign him because he was so valuable for us last season. So we got him re-signed. But the biggest reason as to why we are this bad right now, look here at this screenshot. Vander Williamson ruptured his left Achilles against the Nets, and that sucks. As you can see, like, I didn't just fake make this up. I wouldn't, because it's Vander Williamson. I would not want him to be injured. Some pictures from this Venom game, and I forgot what game this was, honestly. But he has ruptured his Achilles, and he is out for 6 to 8 months. Not good news, man. Not good news. So he might not return until maybe the playoffs, if that. If we can make the playoffs, because we've lost the last 4 games without him, which sucks. So yeah, we re-signed Nembhard. Mark Williams still here. DeAndre Hunter is a part of our team now. He was way cheaper. Got him for Vince Williams. Tyus Jones remains here. J.R. Webb remains here. He developed a little bit, so maybe he shows he has actual potential, which is cool to have. Jalen Smith's here. Grayson Allen, Caleb Houston, Taurean Prince returns. Dorian Finney-Smith we also signed. Scottie Pippen Jr., Malik Beasley. This is our roster. Without Vander Williamson, it doesn't look too amazing. It does not look that amazing at all. We are playing the Cavs for our next game. They have Frank Neal, who is a monster. I believe he was the first pick like 2 years ago. But man, it's looking rough. I tried to play this Mavericks game, and it was just too hard, honestly, so I let the Simcast take care of it. We almost got the win. Nembhard's the first option on this team now. Basically, he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot more. Scotty Barnes will have the ball in his hands a lot more, too. It's just rough. It kind of kills the vibe of the whole season. Honestly, I don't know if I'm going to show many gameplays this year. Maybe like 2 or 3. So I'm not going to show this first Cavs game. I'm going to show this Cavs game, though, on the 22nd, nationally televised game. We'll show that one. And then we'll probably show something down here. Maybe probably this Clippers game, for some revenge, maybe something like that. They signed Jacoby Walter instead of re-signing Matas Buzelis, who actually signed with the Vegas Venom. Interesting. Maybe we'll play the Thunder down here. We didn't get to play them last year at all because I thought we were going to meet the playoffs, but we didn't. Injuries happened. Maybe the Bulls, a team we haven't played yet, but they're young, and we could use that. Their rookie RDIB is 24 points per game on 40, 90 shooting. So yeah, maybe we'll play this Bulls team, play this Cavs team right here, and then play like one more game, maybe the Celtics or something like that after All-Star break, and get on to the postseason. If we do make the postseason, maybe the end of the season will be a playoff push type of episode, but we'll see. Let's go around the league, though, and look at what everybody did. The Sixers, Tyrese Maxey got better, or he stayed the same, but Joel Embiid is regressing. That is kind of hard to believe, because in real life, he just had this season down here at 35 points per game, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, monster numbers. But he's regressing. I think his injuries are catching up to him. Jared McCain is an 84 overall now, which is very interesting. He just re-signed a big deal, too. Jalen Johnson's here at 83. Trey Murphy signed here. He was with the Clippers last season. Ion Emiscu Mackenzie Mbakwe, Mbako, I forgot what his name was in real life. This might be his name in real life. He's there. Murray Cotton. This team is very mid. Nothing too noteworthy with them. The Bucks. Giannis is getting older. He's 33. Mikal Bridges is getting older. Dame is on his last legs almost. But he's putting up 18 and 7, which is not bad on almost 50. Or no, 40, 30, 90 shooting, which is okay. Jalen Suggs. This team's solid. They signed Corey Kispert as well. I just don't think they're good enough to compete for a championship. So maybe they make some moves. The Bulls, I just showed them, young squad, but very talented with their second-year player, RDIB, who was the first pick in the draft last year. He's very good. He can shoot the lights out. Frank Neal, the center for this team, he's taking a little bit of a leap as a player. He's going to get the ball more. He's a monster. He's kind of like a Joel Embiid type of player. As you can see, he's an 88 mid-range. Pretty big guy, 7'1", 270. This is a solid squad. They signed Isaiah Jackson, too. In free agency, the Celtics going to run it back. Tatum re-ups on a huge contract. Jaylen Brown, Kristaps, younger guys are developing. Andrew Wiggins left us and went to the Celtics. Like, okay, buddy. He's not having a good year at all. He's probably having his worst year of his career. My goodness. Antonio May. This is a solid squad. Clippers, they didn't resign Buzelis, but they did sign Jacoby Walter away from Chicago. They signed Max Christie and Peyton Pritchard, so this is an interesting squad. I don't know if they're as good as they were last year, but we'll see. They also have Jeremy Grant. Is that one? Yeah, it's Jeremy Grant. Oh, cool. Grizzlies, they lost Ja Morant. You'll see in a second where he went. Dink Batel will have the ball more. Jaren will have the ball a little bit more. So will Desmond Bane. I don't know what this team is doing, honestly. They signed Reed Shepherd, so I don't know. Maybe this team enters a rebuild, but we'll see. Hawks, basically the same. But they've developed very well. They signed Naz Reid away from Milwaukee. Cameron Carr is developing still for them. Kyle Filipowski's here from New Orleans. This is a solid squad. Taylor Hendricks signed with them. Cam Scott. Very solid squad. But Ja goes to South Beach and joins the Miami Heat. This is an interesting team. I think they need to make a few moves, but this team can honestly end up competing if they get another star or something like that. Move Tyler Hero for somebody, even though Tyler Hero was balling 19, 5, and 5. Pretty good. Hornets signed Nickeil Alexander-Walker away from us. Like I said, I raised his overall and stuff like that because he was playing amazing in the playoffs, and he got paid for it. Lonzo re-ups there. Wendell Carter is still there. They signed Jared Vanderbilt, Jordan Walsh. They also signed KCP. So this team got some defenders and shooters in the offseason, which they already have a fair amount of. The Jazz signed Paul George to a $28 million contract. I think he's going to retire in the offseason. So kind of farewell tour, I guess. They also signed Dalton Connect. This team is solid, though. Nikola Topic, he's developing. Floyd Badunga, he's developing as well. And JJ Bethea, or Jaleel Bethea, developing a little bit. But this is an interesting squad, maybe a playing team. Kings, basically the same, but they signed Moses Moody. They have Aaron Nesmith, Grant Williams is still here. This is a solid squad. Malik Monk is hurt. The Knicks, they signed Zion. So Zion goes to the Knicks, 10 years later than he was supposed to go? That's crazy. So they lose Kevin Durant to retirement, but they pick up Zion Williamson at 28 years old in his prime. Very interesting squad. A lot of lefties, a lot of left-handed scoring for them with Jalen Brunson and Zion. Vander Williamson, ruptured left Achilles. We already saw. Magic, interesting squad. Very interesting squad. They signed Andre Jackson Jr. He was there last year. Sadiq Bey joins this team. I joined them last year too. Jaden Harvey was here. Was PJ Washington there? No, he wasn't. Did he even play last year? Okay, he did. This is a very solid squad, though. I don't know how they're not contending, but whatever. Mavericks, solid. They lost Connect. They pick up quickly. Mid-season last year, Carter Bryant develops. James Wiseman joins this team. They also signed Grady Dick. Solid, very solid squad, man. Very solid. Nets, continue to be mid. Miguel Tomato is going to continue to develop for them, though. Nuggets, just a solid squad. I don't know if they'll ever compete again, though. They signed Dylan Brooks. Pacers didn't really do much. They had the number 1 pick of the draft. They drafted Roderick Maxwell, who seems like a solid player. Looks like he can score and defend a little bit, so we'll see how that goes. He's also 6'8" at the shooting guard. That's pretty big. Pelicans stuck in mud, maybe. We'll see what they do. Maybe they might sell at the trade deadline, which would make sense. Gobert's on the last year of his contract. They'll probably just let that expire. Alexander Sarr they signed, though, and he's having a good year. 24 points per game. My goodness, I was not expecting that. So he's hitting his prime here with this team. Detroit, they re-signed Cade. Anthony Davis is here, but he has fractured his left leg, so he's going to be out for a while. This team's interesting. They signed Cam Thomas, traded for Vince Williams. I don't know what they're doing, though. I don't really know what they're doing. Cade's only getting older. He's 27. Men Thompson, 25. They signed Stephon Castle away from the Kings, which is a tremendous signing. They lose Taylor Hendricks, but this team looks solid, man. This team actually looks solid. They look like they might be able to get to the second round or beyond, honestly. The Rockets, they've had the same squad for forever now. It is what it is, man. It's just this solid squad. They re-signed Ricochet, something like that. I don't know how to say it. The Sonics, new team to the league. OG Anunoby, Ron Hahn. I think they're like undefeated right now, somehow, some way. Their team is low-key nasty. Marco Jackson is averaging like 18 and 10, 18 and 8. Solid. OG Anunoby's only averaging 18 points, but VJ Miller 18.6 points per game. Ron Holland's giving them 19 and 7 on 50% from 3. So this team is doing something, I guess. The Spurs, they might have to make something up because it's been a few years and they still haven't made it to the finals. I think they made it to the conference finals, maybe. They signed Tajan Sulan, but I don't know. Donovan Mitchell re-upped for one more year. He just accepted his player option. Victor Wembanyama is here, not having a great year though, not having a great start. Trey Johnson, 33 points per game. My goodness, he takes another leap. Asar Thompson's here. Aaron Wiggins still here. Daniel Gafford is here now. Bryson Tucker's here. It's not Bryson Tiller. There is a Bryson Tiller out there that hoops, but it's not this one. I got that mixed up. Austin Reeves is here. They have Nick Claxton still. This is a solid squad. This team honestly can make the playoffs again. Thunder. Oh my goodness, man. You just man, Ace Bailey is their 4th best player at 88 overall. It is what it is, man. Anthony Edwards, DeAndre Ayton, McDaniels, Kawhi, Kassan Wallace. This team is in the East now, so I'm interested to see how they, perform in the East. Maybe they honestly end up contending in that East after missing the playoffs in the West, but we'll see. Blazers, they have just had too many young guys for so long, and they really haven't developed that well. Scoot finally having, I would say, a star level season at 20 points per game, 5 rebounds and 8 assists. So maybe that helps them a lot. Simons is still here. Maybe he gets shipped. This team probably needs more defense and more shooting at the same time, but we'll see. Venom Matas Buzelis develops into a damn near superstar. Jesus, 34 points per game, 10.7 rebounds. I was looking at his box scores earlier. Look at the season he's having scoring. He's had 4 40-point games or more in the past 5. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. So he's kind of turned into a superstar here in Las Vegas, where the lights shine the brightest, honestly, in the whole world. Well, maybe not in the whole world, but the U.S. at least. Warriors signed Rob Dillingham. Interesting move considering that B.J. Moore is here for them, who's having a career year at 22 points per game. Kuminga's still here. Somebody maybe will pry him away. Who knows? He's entering his prime. Wizards fresh off a championship. Solid squad. They lost a bit of, few depth pieces, but nothing crazy. And that is, how is everything? All the rosters are looking throughout the league. Thunder, of course. They're 8-0 with a 21 point differential. Well, 20.8. So they've won their games by an average of 20.8 points per game. Sonics 6-2, Nuggets 6-2, Spurs 6-2. It is interesting to see how these teams are shaping up, and it took us all the way to 11 to find us. That is really wild. That's really wild. The Clippers having a bad year. It's weird. So the Timberwolves didn't move to the East? Who moved to the East? Oh, it was Memphis, wasn't it? Oh, man. I thought we moved the Wolves. Did we not? Alright, so that's weird, but this... Oh, they have Ben Simmons now? Well, this Memphis team is still mid. That's kind of crazy. 2-4. Bucks are 1-6. Jesus. Heat are 1-5 somehow with Ja Morant. So maybe there'll be some moves around there. Maybe the Bucks will trade for somebody. Dame's getting older. He's gonna retire. Giannis is only getting older. Maybe the Heat need to trade for somebody. We'll see. But honestly, man, not doing so well right now. Look at our team stats. Brandon Williamson got hurt, so his stats are a little skewed. Nembhard having a great year. Scotty having a great year. Jalen Smith having a really solid year, honestly. 40% from 3. Mark Williams having another great year. He is so good for us. DeAndre Henner shooting 50% from 3. Tyus Jones shooting 40 from 3. This is just a solid squad, man. Solid, but I don't think we're anything special right now. So yeah, that is basically the whole episode. It's a lot to bring in, a lot to digest in 15 minutes, 16 minutes now. But that's what happened, man. Unfortunate stuff happens sometimes, and this year might just be a wash, which is unfortunate because last year I feel like it was kind of a wash too because we got injured in the playoffs, and now we don't need to wait to the playoffs to get injured. So it is what it is. We'll see if Vander Williamson can return before 6 to 8 months is up. So just have to be patient. We'll see. But if we do play a game, maybe this Cavs team, who knows? Maybe we don't really play a ton of games this season. It's kind of just season updates and simcasts and stuff like that. Because we don't have the full team. It's not as entertaining. But that's enough rambling. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.